I really want to put it to you that what we're talking about here is principles. Principles like gravity or thermodynamics or any. We're talking about actual principles that govern how life works for human beings, for living creatures. And as principles, they're a constant. Gravity is a constant. It shows up in different ways in different parts of the universe. So for instance, the effects of gravity, so principles, it's tough to measure principles. You can measure the effects of principles. But it's tough to measure the principles themselves. It's tough to measure gravity. If you wanted to measure gravity, how do you do that? Well, I do it every morning for the last month because I weigh myself. So that's a way of measuring gravity. But if I was to weigh myself on the moon, it'd be rather obsessive. Yeah, finally here at the moon. Oh yeah. I would weigh something different because the effect of gravity on the moon has a different force than the effect of gravity on the Earth. But gravity, the principle of gravity is constant throughout the universe, as far as we know. So it's a principle. What I'd like to suggest is that the principles of innate thinking, the principles of mind, consciousness, and thought, are constant as well. So yeah, I love that you've said it like that, John. Here's the other thing. Like, who grows tomatoes or vegetables or anything like that? A few of you. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you really grow them?
I sow them.
You
Sow them.
Yeah, you sow them. And you may nurture them, take care of them, that sort of thing. But nature grows, I mean, that's such a big word, but nature grows the vegetables, or life grows the vegetables, or the energy behind life grows the vegetables. You don't actually do it. You may support it or guide it or nurture it in some way, but there's a power, whatever you want to call that power. You might call that power chemistry or life or any number of things. But that's what's doing the heavy lifting. That's what's doing the heavy lifting. So I want to invite you to consider that as these are principles that we're pointing to, that maybe the process of learning, understanding, and benefiting from that understanding is easier and involves less doing. I sometimes hear people talking about living a principles way of life, or it being a way of being, or something like that. It's like, show me anyone on the planet who isn't living from these principles. We all are, all the time. Everyone is. Hitler was. Saddam Hussein was. Gandhi was. Lady Gaga is. Everyone who works in my local Sainsbury's is. And everyone who shops there. And all of you and me. And everyone else on the planet. It's not personal. And no one's better at doing the principles. That's like being better at doing gravity. A person can have a better understanding of gravity. A person who doesn't have an understanding of gravity, they're going to have a rough ride because they'll be like falling over all the time and dropping stuff. And I've never met anyone like that. But well, little toddlers, when children are very, very young, they don't really have an understanding of gravity, but nature's built in a great mechanism which is called crawling, which helps them out with that. There are limits to the damage they can inflict at that age usually. So I want you to just get into groups of 2, just for like 5 minutes, and just have a conversation of looking at these as principles that the understanding of which has implications. What does that mean for you in terms of how you can benefit from this understanding?